Well, good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. And today we're going to be looking at the background to the hymn, Make Me a Channel of Your Peace, a truly beautiful hymn. So, what is the story behind this hymn? Let's take a look. Most of the modern hymns which have achieved widespread popularity in recent years have come from the evangelical wing of Protestantism. This simple but highly effective adaptation of the prayer, traditionally attributed to St. Francis of Assisi, comes from the pen of a South African-born Catholic and has been popularized throughout the English-speaking world by the Franciscan Communications Center in Los Angeles, California. The author was a man by the name of Jan Sebastian von Tempelhof, who writes under the name Sebastian Temple. And he wrote the verses in response to a request for a collection of songs for the Franciscans' Third Orders Church in downtown Los Angeles. And so Sebastian Temple wrote in a letter, "I wrote so easily and so prolifically that I took for granted that I could write music to the peace prayer of St. Francis. The album's other 12 songs fell out of my lips and onto the tape recorder very easily, and I wrote them in 2 days. The third day was left for the peace prayer. Though inspirations for all came easily to me, its strange form drove me crazy. I could not come up with anything that sounded like music to my ears. I tried for a whole morning, but nothing came. Finally, I was disgusted. I looked at the little statue of St. Francis on my bookshelf and said angrily, 'Well, if you want to write it, you do it. I can't.' And I got up, and I went to the kitchen, and I made a cup of tea, and I drank it. And when I returned to the car, I picked it up. I had the tape running, and the song fell out of my mouth as it was recorded a few days later." Modern scholarship casts doubt on the traditional view that the well-known prayer on which the hymn is based was in fact written by St. Francis. It is thought that the author was the work of a later Franciscan, Jacopo de Todi. Whoever the author was, though, it is a fine prayer, particularly appropriate for troubled times. The traditional English version on which Temple based his hymn reads as follows: "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life." It is interesting that in the opening line of his hymn, Sebastian Temple makes use of an image which was particularly popular with Martin Luther, who often spoke of humans as channels passing on to our neighbors the love that we receive from God. This kind of imagery finds its fullest expression in the writings of the early 20th century Swedish Lutheran Anders Nygren, who says in his book Agape and Eros, all that a Christian possesses he has received from God, and all that he possesses he passed on in love to his neighbour. He has nothing of his own to give. He is merely the tube, the channel through which God's love flows. And so let us listen to this hymn.